problem if we have some sort of blockage of this such large area rather. It is going to be a very barrier for every function to think about. Think about mobility, think about transportation, think about your financial operations, and also daily operations in terms of social life and so on. So definitely it's a barrier, and unfortunately, it has been a long thought, long discourse we have in the literature that what is the best possible way we can understand that the reuse of these resources, but there is no such ABC rule which can get us through to get to the point. But that's why the context is very important here. That how we understand the context. For instance, in the case of this case, regulatory, to see how does context influences us to see the best possible solution, both spatially or spatially, to connect them with any part of the city. So let me go through a few of those regeneration ideas that are in place. But definitely, it's a matter of debate, it's a matter of questions, and also deliberation as well to see how we can skin them out to find out the best possible ways for regeneration. So the way it has been proposed actually is thought to be used as flexible space, meaning that it has no such defined functions. You can use the functions of the space as per the use and as per the need, which is quite a smart idea to be starting with. And then when it comes to environmental quality, this is very important that when you build a building to make sure they are really active building in terms of generating the own resources of let's say energy and control the thermal circulations to make sure this is self-generating, comfortable at the same time. Look into other microclimate situations like what do you have around you, which will help you to understand how to harness the climate, in the best possible manner. So microclimate conditions is very important in that sense to understand the context, and then the airflow, the heat wave that goes around the year, and so on. So we understand those climatic variations, so we can harness that kind of climatic situations in a better way, so we have less consumption in the building. When it comes to the maintenance part, which is another cost comes in for any kind of buildings for operations. That's why this is a big task these days. That how could you possibly have less maintenance cost, and then you have not much of burden when it comes to materials selections and also the applications of that. So we have to be very very sure about the maintenance cost, and then the choice of materials that are used for constructions has to be very sustainable and durable as well. The last point of the list is very important here is the connectivity, because often we tend to understand one enclave as one part of piece and not really they're part of the whole piece. So we need to understand this as a puzzle. So in that sense, we need to understand how this puzzle is connected to other puzzles in the jigsaw. So understand the connectivity, the relationships, at the same time the flow of resources. In that sense, it's very important that we have to have a thorough understanding about what are the other uses we have around the city, land use wise, function wise, business wise, and then how the regeneration activities being proposed for this radio calibria is going to complement that. Those other usage is very important. That's why. So if we have that thought in place, and possibly this might give us a kind of way out for possible regenerations and so on. And one of the important thing here is that these two cities are very coastal cities. This is not typical inland cities. So definitely in terms of importance, in terms of values of those places, very high, because they are on the seashore, and they have a chance for in transportation, like naval transportation, or resources like from sea resources are very high. So this is not likely other cities inland. So in that sense, even planning regenerations of these coastal cities are even critical, because they are the ones who are going to balance out climatic situations in the future. So having this understood of these two places, the question now, what are our key takeaways, right? So basically, when we deal with such kind of sensitive areas like military areas and operations, then it's very important that we have to understand the bureaucratic part of that, because often they are highly bureaucratic, and also they are sometimes highly controlled. So we need to be having very free conversation with the government and also agencies there to make sure they understand the values of regeneration, so there is no such barrier coming into place. And at the same time, risks is very, very part of the game, because those military operations used to be part of a lot more ammunitions and all those and war-driven weapons. So when we go for urban regenerations, this is definitely a high-risk zone. We need to make sure we have the safety environment in place before we can go for those regenerating activities. Other thing would be really important here is that how we understand the solutions in Italy, for instance, or in Spain, which could be replicable to other contexts which have similar features, also understanding. Last but not the least is that we have to understand the need for collaborations and partnerships, which is kind of not much is there, right? So if you understand one urban regeneration project and it has multiple stakeholders involved, we need to make sure all the stakeholders have their says, the resources in place, and they agree to be part of this game to make sure they all have the leniency towards this project. The last point I would say very critical here is that those regulations. Sometimes the regulations are very outdated. They are very not to the part of recent synergies and development. So there's a need for let's say reconfirming or regenerating those regulations that are active towards urban regeneration project. And often, trust me, not in Italy or Spain, all throughout the world and countries, they have a huge problem of these regulations because they're often not sensitive towards urban regeneration projects. So having that said, I'll be leaving the talks to you guys so we can discuss more towards the part of Q&A session. So I'm stopping now, and then if you have quick questions, please take it with you, and then we can discuss that towards the end of the presentations session today. Thank you very much. Right. So with that said, I'm stopping my sharing here. And then I'd like to invite now for our next presenter. Sorry. So we have co-authors, Celestina Fazia, Lilia Fernanda, Grazia Tapnia, and Clara Stella Vicaria Versa. So please share your slides online, and then the floor is yours.
Yes, good morning. I'm sharing the presentation.
Good morning.
Okay, can you see?
Yes, we can see your presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm a PhD student of University of Ennacore. I'm Giulia Catania.
Do you mind if you make it full screen, please? Full screen.
Sorry?
Please make it full screen.
I don't hear very well.
Can you please make it full screen? Like the presentation. Very good. Thank
Now
you.
it's correct?
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Okay. So we arrived at the present day, and the scenarios that can be hypothesized in view of the stable crossing of the Strait of Messina invite us to look.
Could you please make it full screen? Press F5. It will be full screen.
But it's full screen in my PC.
I mean, if you go down a bit, to the right corner down, it says full screen, right down corner. Do you see the button to your right down corner?
Yes, but I don't know where.
Can you try the presentation?
From keyboard, press F5. It will give you a full presentation. F5 on your keyboard.
Giulia, can you try to presentation mode?
Yes, I know, but maybe now?
Now you unshared the presentation. Please share it first, and then share the presentation mode as well.
Okay, I changed another thing. 1 second.
Okay.
Maybe now in PDF?
Yeah, and that's very good. Perfect. Thank you. Please continue.
Okay. So, On the Street of Messina invites us to look at the process of social economics integration and the territorial rebalancing that could be activated, and the interconnection of the trade agreements that have their rationale in the European Mediterranean neighborhood policy between European states and the Mediterranean. The question arises as to whether the coastal cities of the Mediterranean basin, seeing their connection with the port, are configured as the physical tools functional to the port, or as autonomous systems, as gateways or wings. So, in very different historical moments, Europe has focused on the outlets to the sea, encouraging the improvement of the internal infrastructure network, aware of the role that it's assumed in the system of international trade, but has given little emphasis to an appropriate policy for the enhancement of coastal strips and their relationship with ports. Cities located along the Straits of Europe represent places of special interest from an environmental, landscape, and urban planning point of view. For example, the city of Gibraltar or the city of Istanbul, or another cities of Messina and Reggio Calabria, located are either end of the strait, are facing major challenges related to the management or architectural and urban dynamics, seeking to enhance their waterfronts and promote greater integration between the sites. Or a landmark study addressing the issue of waterfront redevelopment in Messina analyzes the waterfront redevelopment project in Messina, focusing on the aspect of integration between the natural environmental and the urban environment, and the importance of enhancing the coastal landscape to promote the sustainable development of the city. A landscape study addressing the use of integrated waterfront management in Gibraltar highlights the integrated management strategies adopted to preserve the coastal environment, focusing on the importance of integrated coastal zone management, with involvement collection among different actors, such as local authorities or non-governmental organization, local communities, and the private sector, in order to effectively and sustainably manage the natural and cultural research of waterfronts. So, for example, Istanbul represent a promising case study for urban regeneration and cultural enhancement strategies of waterfront, giving it unique locations spanning to continents and overlooking the Bosphorus Strait. A landmark study that delved into urban regeneration strategies adopted in Istanbul analysis the revealed development of Istanbul's waterfront has transformed their areas into creative urban spaces, promoting social and cultural interaction between residents and visitors. So there are decisive with respect to this interpretation is the role that the port is called upon to play. It is not necessarily the central place of the industrial system, of the material activities connected to it. It is rather a complex infrastructure, a node in a transport cycle, a gateway to territorial system. Coastal cities, precisely because they are part of the generic as well as complex category of coastal areas, are areas of particular sensitivity and danger compared to other territorial areas. Floods, erosion, and climate change with rising temperature that progressively rise to sea level by reducing the land and the surface of islands. So the expression coastal strip acquires different meaning in different territorial contexts and in different disciplinary areas. Its definition can be found in the literature when it takes on the character of the environmental emergency in line with the principles of sustainability. An analysis of the coastal fact between Canitello, Villa San Giovanni, and Punta Pellaro, coastal town of Reggio Calabria at the extreme south of the coast, reveals that the coastal strip has been affected by numerous interventions for several decades, some almost completed, other in the process of being carried out. So the urban and architectural conformation of the seafronts of the three cities of the Strait Messina, Reggio Calabria, and Villa San Giovanni are strongly and even heavily marked by the continuous crossing. In recent years, the crossing seems to have marked to the short, leaving trace the area. They are less and less respectful and rather treating the place almost as if they were motorway service stations. A suggestion could be to look at good practice from other states in Europe and around the world, useful for understanding which process and phenomena cross, then which works, which urban and territorial strategies and architecture intercept or lap. Therefore, precisely in view of the construction of the bridge, it seems necessary to rethink the areas of the seafront, the coast, and the cities of straits with their internal areas or on a large scale, even interregional, but with new eyes. To identify potential and design, it seems necessary to continually return to looking both from land and from to the sea, maintains a constant 360 degree grades in identify correct relationship between solid and voids, between building and unbuilding, between spaces or permanence and transition. So in conclusion, an example is Barcelona, Malaga, or French Nice, won their fortune on not only to the extraordinary geographical condition in which they are located, but above all, to the ability to maintain over time a real integration between the sea, the beach, and the city center. So we think the bridge represent the spark to trigger a process of global regeneration in general of the surroundings, and this is finished my presentation. So thank you for your attention. Sorry, I have finished presenting.
Yes, hi, there is. Hi, I'm Clara Stella Vicariaves. I don't know if now I have to start. There is the Julia.
Yes.
Yes, but there is nobody else, or not?
Maybe no. I don't know.
I have to do my presentation. I don't know. Because before
Good morning. I am here too.
Oh. I don't know.
Clara Stella, I suggest you to submit in PDF because in PowerPoint
okay.
there are a problem.
And can you tell me how to put it? Okay. Where they have to link? Condivisione schermo. Yes. Here.
But there are anybody.
I don't know. Cosa devo mettere per condivisione schermo? Inizia condivisione.
Fai finestra.
C'è una sorta
inizia
di
la
quadrato
condivisione
con
dello
una freccia
schermo.
dentro.
La freccia, ok.
Esatto. Poi fai finestra, però prima devi aprirti il PowerPoint o il PDF. Ok, fai finestra e poi clicchi su il PDF aperto. Cioè, quando fai finestra ti dovrebbe comparire la finestra del PDF aperto.
Non riesco, mannaggia. Condivisi anche l'uso della scheda. Inizio una scheda da condividere. Ma devo strisciarlo lì dentro, no?
No. Tu già ce l'hai aperto nel computer?
Sì.
Okay.
Devo cliccare finestra.
Finestra, bravissima.
Sì.
Anteprima? No.
Anteprima dove c'è scritto, ti compare in anteprima il PDF aperto?
Non mi compare.
Sei sicura che è aperto?
Certo, ce l'ho davanti.
Prova a fare casomai schermo intero.
Ce l'ho il PDF, lo vedete? No.
No.
Ma quando clicchi finestra, ti compare lì all'interno della finestra?
No, mi fa vedere solo la mia... ok, schermo intero, forse così.
Anche da schermo intero si può fare.
No.
Bisogna cliccare una volta che si clicca su schermo intero, bisogna ricliccare sulla schermata, sul quadrato che ti appare. E poi sotto dovrebbe spuntare condividi, che si dovrebbe illuminare.
Lo vedete? No.
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 Condivisione dello schermo fallita. Qualcosa non funziona nei permessi. Perfetto.
Prova a uscire e rientrare. Magari se ti chiede qualche consenso, accettalo.
Ok, faccio così. Allora, esco e rientro.
Ok.
Hear us?
Hi.
Yes, Clara, do you hear us?
Yes.
So are you going to present the paper now, or who is the presenter?
I can present library queries. The value of brownfield site by the C awaiting regeneration. I don't know if I have to do now. The case of the library promise queries.
Because we have
Yeah, we have with your name the other paper that's
The recovery of the disused infrastructure, it is possible?
Yeah.
This is the
Yes, it's mine.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're looking for you actually, so we thought you want to present now.
Are you ready or?
No, yes. Share my presentation.
Okay. I wait. Okay.
Sure. So
Okay.
Clara, you're the next one with the fourth presenter.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Can you see my presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am Federica Sortino, and I am a PhD student at Korea University of Enna. And today I will present the paper, The Recovery of Disused Infrastructure and Military Area in Spain and Italy, Contribution to the Regeneration of Territories. The reclamation of military infrastructure brownfield site open a window into a very complex scenario. It is an environmental and social priority, but often meet difficulty in the planning stage because of the complexity of question and financial needs. Currently in Italy, are a few successful reuse operations of disused military and infrastructure area, often isolated cases. Many projects regarding area of
Fede, stop 1 second, because there are Clara Stella.
Clara, could you please stop your sharing because we cannot see the presentation.
You don't see my presentation?
Now,
No,
yes.
Clara,
No.
No? I try again.
Okay, now we can see.
Oh. You see now?
No?
No.
Now, yes.
in this way?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. Full screen, no?
Full screen.
Yeah. Thank
Yes.
Perfect. Many projects regarding the area of historical landscape and architectural importance have been left incompleted. One of the successful reuse concept in the project for the Directorate of Anti-Mass Investigate, as mentioned earlier, called DIA in Reggio Calabria. This base has a good strategic location as it is close the port and highway entrance. The new design of the DIA headquarters will feature flexible space and solution to eliminate architectural barriers such as tactile pathways. The building will prioritize a high-quality working environment with system to improve acoustic, indoor air quality, and respect for the microclimate of the site. It also aims to the sustainable as thanks to a photovoltaic system on the roof will lead a significant energy saving, and building will use durable material that require little upkeep. The law requires assessment for risk for the presence of remains of war and possible preservation and protection steps to eliminate the possibly and dangerous events. The DIA site was subjected to specific checks, including analysis of geological feature, potential restriction, archaeological find, and seismic risk. The site included 2 large metal tanks from World War II with a capacity of 10 million liters each, which have been neglected over the years. Another example of a former military base that has been abandoned for a long time is the use of military base. The former use of military base has been left in total neglect, becoming a dumping ground for trash and rubble, as well as an environmental hazard for the present dangerous materials. The base is located in Monte Nardello and overlooks the Ionian and Tyrrhenian seas, marking the strategic geographic location. The base was part of Aspromont Horizon project, a study conducted by the United States in 1950 to establish a strategic data collection and processing infrastructure in the region. The base was reactivated in 2023 for military exercise, and the municipality of Roccaforte del Greco acquired the management of the older military structure. Another example is the Monte Cimone Barracks. The Monte Cimone Barracks is located in agricultural area with connection to provincial roads. The complex is in the close proximity to hub connection freight traffic between Central and Eastern European market and Mediterranean area. While idea for environmental and social redevelopment has been many, the use of this abandoned site remains quite complex. The State Property Agency has commissioned a comprehensive survey to evaluate seismic vulnerability and the presence of pollution in the complex. The final project wanted to strike a balance between the preservation and innovation rehabilitation plans. The project involves the restoration of 3 out of 4 buildings, while the central building will be demolished and rebuilt. After analyzing the Italian cases, we will now look at some Spanish cases. The Royal Arms Factory of Orbaizeta is a testament to the industrial history of Navarra in northern Spain. Founded in 18th century, this ex-military production center played a crucial role in stocking the Spanish army during conflict like the wars with the French and the Carlist Wars. While the factory ceased operation in 1884, the ruins that remain stand testimony to its valuable cultural heritage. After decades of neglect, the Royal Arms Factory of Orbaizeta has been rediscovered as an industrial heritage site, and with the renovated interest has come investment to the preservation and revitalization of the site. Effort to restore and redevelop the industrial complex have focused between the historical significance of the site and the modern needs, such as a creation of visitor accommodation and cultural exhibition space showcase the factory heritage. A visitor center called Cultural Ola was opened in 2023. This has transformed of factory, serving as a hub for the community to engage and celebrate the unique piece of industrial heritage. Another example of disused military area is the Getafe former military site in Madrid, Spain. It's a significant case study of transforming a former military site into a sustainable community-centered development. The first step in the regeneration process was to address environmental problems resulting from the past military use of the site. Extensive investigations were conducted to identify and appropriate management of any residual toxic material of substance. The second phase focused on restoration and ecological based of the area. Action were taken to create green space, introducing native plant spaces and promote habitats for local wildlife, which improve the environmental quality and sustainability of the area. The final phase involved the redevelopment of the site, transforming the former military area into a multi-purpose center integrating residential, commercial, educational, and recreational space, sustainable mobility options like a pedestrian and bicycle route. The regeneration of Getafe military area has had a significant impact on a local community. It can improve the quality of life and social cohesion. The Getafe case study brings valuable lessons for the regeneration of the commissioned military area. Key factors for success include a forward-looking and integrated vision, collaboration among public, private, and community stakeholders, and strong focus on environmental sustainability and quality of life. In conclusion, we can say that innovative approach with the sustainability solution are needed for the regeneration of former abandoned military area to transform this space into places for the community. Also require collaborative governments involving multiple stakeholders to manage large-scale urban regeneration projects. In addition, the strategic location of disused military sites can allow access to regional and European funds dedicated to territorial regeneration initiative. Thank you for the attention.
I start? Can I start? Oh. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello. Can I start my presentation? Okay. I start my presentation, if it's okay. Okay?
The presentation, not the entire screen. Just share the file, and then it will be shared to us. Don't share the screen.
No, but I still cannot see it.
Can you see?
There is a button on the downside of your screen. If you click, you can share your screen. Can you see it?
There is a square with the arrow.
Yes.
Oh.
C'è un quadrato con una freccia sotto.
E l'ho premuto.
Dopodiché su schermo intero, ok. Adesso prova ad aprire il PowerPoint da qua.
Ok.
Perfetto, adesso si vede.
Full screen.
Oh, but full screen, please.
Okay. It's okay?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You can
Yes.
start.
Okay. Thank you so much. Good morning. And I'm Clara Stella Vicaria Versa from University of Reggio Calabria, Architecture. And we are speaking about the situation of Lipari, a special case of the Lipari-Pumis quarry, a valuable brownfield site by the sea awaiting regeneration. Yes, because we are speaking about special seven island in south of Italy, in Sicily, and the volcanic landscape that characterize all this island. And it's a very special case, and also all the history of this island is strictly related to this case to the cave of pumice and obsidian. And mining activity was interrupted several years ago. And these disused pumice deposits are still awaiting their redefinition and suitable regeneration project. Because there are many disused quarries, but in very special area, as you can see now, a very wonderful border in this island, and they are strictly related with the same identity of the island. The case of the disused quarries on Lipari are very special because normally in disused quarries they are no longer used for extraction because are no longer economically viable to continue extraction, or because they are destroying the landscape. But none of this case is the case of Lipari. When the area was not degraded when they stopped to the cave, and also including the sea was more vibrant and more blue when there was the cave. But this case is they are interrupted the excavation because the mountain are recognized as heritage by patrimony by UNESCO and linked to the landscape. And so we are speaking what's happened, especially in this case. This special area was very impressive because there was many white mountain with pumice and by obsidian. Also, many was fascinated in the past. Many voyagers like Dumas, Maupassant, Carducci, many historical, many artists of the past speaking about these special mountains. And so they have infinite number of stories to tell. But what's happened? In the past, also in the Neolithic period, there was this mountain around 400 miles beside Christ. Also, Deodat de Tholomyès described Lipari as the immense storehouse that supplies pumice to all the Europe. Also, Pantheon was constructed by this pumice quarry. And over the years, this pumice quarry was growth and make all the people of the iron workers on it, and they bring to all over the world. Francesco Lacava was one of the first to start to put in a sort of industry. And so also he kept this area, and you can see now what there are rest in this area. And La Cabra realized many activity to put the pumice industry more competitive in the market in the world. And so with automatic system, and so we put many put conveyor belts that were installed on the waves. And so he can reduce the production cost, would expand the sales market. And so making it more competitive also to Africa, North Europe, United States of America. And with the industrialization process, the pumice was also began to perform more human tasks. Yes, because there was a problem that they didn't recognize before. The problem of silicosis. Unfortunately, also the same Francesco Lacava died of silicosis. Or by the pumice, the special works, they were there. And so in around 1950, there was many quarries that are working about, working in it, in the excavation. Also Francesco Lacava, but then they died, and so there are many excessive competition, and in this competition, at the end, was won by the company Pumex SPA. And so the Pumex SPA was the last society more important. And nowadays, and this was some photo by Francesco Lacava case, was especially wonderful. I found in the private archive of Antonietta Lottea Papocchia, nice hand hair for Francesco Lacava. There are many wonderful, especially photo of also this area, more and more. And so they are witness of the past activity today also. But what's happened to this especially area? Why was interrupted? This pumice structure was introduced in the Atlante of the Beni Etnoantropologici Oliani, edited by Francesco Todesco. And there was many studies of also by it was recognized by the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and so it put in the World Heritage List. It is wonderful for the island, wonderful for Lipari, but one condition: the prohibition of the continuation of mining activity in the area, included in the World Heritage List. And so it was, despite the fact that there was important for the island, the Pumex had to stop the activity. And so, stopping the activity, the quarry was immediately stopped. Nobody can stop. In some years, Pumex continues, but they have to stop. They have to stop, and so there was proposed many possibility for this area. But today, the area was still waiting. We're still waiting, despite of many associations are interested in it. Museo Impresa, Federcultura, Italian Touring Club, Sicindustria, all are wanted because they recognize the importance of the area. They wanted to put museum of geomining museum in this area. And some years ago, in 2021, it could be appear that Regione Sicilia proposal to build a museum of geomining park in former of Quarry of Ripoli. Also seemed to the journalist Antonio Calabrò, president of Museo Impresa, like a positive and appreciable choice. But now nobody was done. Also the Soprintendenza dei Beni Architettonici of Sicilia put sort of wanted to control this area, but also in Italy there are many bureaucratic problem, and so the TAR, il Tribunale Amministrativo Regionale, declared the constrict on the former Pumice quarry to be illegitimate, and so it was stopped to this project. And so this area actually has a big problem, because also today there was not a project. What I show you is what in some moment it could be done, and what we hope it could be done, this or another similar project. This is a project we are working on it in the university. I work with the other two professors of the school, Franco Cardullo and Consuelo Nava, and together we work with this wonderful student with the thesis, Milena Mollica, and he can represent the possibility of the Pumice Geominic Park, because with her we started to recognize the history, the importance of the area, and to show out and some possibility of this point, the area of Porticello, the area of Lisca, the area of many beach, many Pietraliscia, Spiaggia of Gozzo, and all along the coastal strip, because the provincial law, it is imaginated to recover and restore all the ruins of Pumice processing, converting them back into activities related to the park, the sea, and the Pumice Museum, with beach, with restoration, with many area for all. And so there are some how you can see before and how it can be put on it. And so in conclusion, we need to work actually now, because we are waiting for this restoration to preserve and enhance the industrial heritage, memory, history, and the identity, the same identity of the white Aeolian shore. Because this is a photo of the last summer, and you were waiting for it. In these days, just in these days, it could be that a private can work in this area. We're waiting it, and we hope the landscape have a project that could be better for it, because they are very incredible, this cascade of white house and this white landscape. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Clara,
Thank
for
you.
the nice
Thank you.
presentation. Very insightful. Again, we have no time for questions and comments, so we'll be proceeding to the last presentation, not the least. Antonella Versace and Alessio Cartasi. If you are here. Antonella, are you here? Or Alessio? No. Okay, I don't think he is here. But anyway, thank you so much for the presenters, for your really insightful findings, and also the way out for how to regenerate spaces, be it for military barracks, be it for coastal cities or other areas. They're really important because in our cities and countries across the world, we have such facilities, such sites, which need to be tackled in such a way they become very resilient at the same time that gives us the resiliency into other planning areas. So I wouldn't be taking longer. So I would like you to encourage you to be connected to each other, because we are working on similar areas. We can learn from each other. We can also be in touch with for different other reasons. So let's do that. That being said, thank you so much for your presentations, for your time here today, and I really enjoyed those findings that we have. Wish you good luck in your future endeavors, and goodbye from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.